This section highlights a few AWS services that support the discovery and recognition phase. Note that these are not all of the AWS services available. AWS offers several services that support incident discovery and recognition. These services help an enterprise identify an attack. Let's look at these services in more detail and how they support the discovery and recognition phase. Trusted Advisor draws upon best practices learned from serving hundreds of thousands of AWS customers. The service inspects your AWS environment and then makes recommendations when opportunities exist to improve performance and help close security gaps. If you have an AWS Basic Support or Developer Support plan, you can use the AWS Management Console to access core security checks and all checks for service quotas. If you have a business enterprise, on-ramp, or enterprise support plan, you can use the console, AWS Support API, and AWS Command Line Interface, or AWS CLI, to access all checks. This includes checks for cost optimization, security, fault tolerance, performance, and service quotas. You can also use Amazon Event Bridge to monitor the status of Trusted Advisor checks. CloudWatch provides a reliable, scalable, and flexible monitoring solution that you can start using within minutes. By using this service, you don't need to set up, manage, and scale your own monitoring systems and infrastructure. The CloudWatch console homepage automatically displays metrics about every AWS service you use. You can additionally create custom dashboards to display metrics about your custom applications and display custom collections of metrics that you choose. You can create alarms that watch metrics and send notifications, or automatically make changes to the resources you are monitoring when a threshold is breached. With CloudWatch, you gain system-wide visibility into resource utilization, application performance, and operational health. Amazon Inspector is a vulnerability management service that continuously scans your AWS workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Amazon Inspector automatically discovers and scans Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, or Amazon EC2 instances, and container images that reside in Amazon Elastic Container Registry, or Amazon ECR. When Amazon Inspector discovers a software vulnerability or network issue, the service creates a finding. A finding describes the vulnerability, identifies the affected resource, rates the severity of the vulnerability, and provides remediation guidance. GuardDuty is a continuous security monitoring service. It can help to identify unexpected and potentially unauthorized or malicious activity in your AWS environment. GuardDuty uses threat intelligence feeds, such as lists of malicious IP addresses and domains, and machine learning to identify potentially harmful activities within your AWS environment. This can include issues such as escalations of privileges, use of exposed credentials, or communication with malicious IP addresses or domains. For example, GuardDuty can detect compromised EC2 instances, serving malware, or mining Bitcoin. The service also monitors AWS account access behavior for signs of compromise, such as unauthorized infrastructure deployments. For example, instances being deployed in a region that has never been used. The service also monitors for unusual API calls, such as a password policy change to reduce password strength. Shield helps protect an enterprise network against a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack. A DDoS attack is a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal traffic of a targeted server, service, or network by overwhelming the target or its surrounding infrastructure with a flood of internet traffic. A DDoS attack is like an unexpected traffic jam clogging up the highway, preventing regular traffic from arriving at its destination. When you build your application on AWS, you receive automatic protection against common DDoS attacks. Additionally, you can use the AWS Shield Advanced Managed Threat Protection service to improve your security posture with additional DDoS detection, mitigation, and response capabilities. AWS Config is a continuous monitoring and assessment service that provides you with an inventory of your AWS resources and records changes to the configuration of those resources. You can view current and historic configurations of a resource and use this information to troubleshoot outages and conduct security attack analysis. You can also view the configuration at any point in time and use that information to reconfigure your resources and bring them into a steady state during an outage situation. AWS Config sends notifications when changes occur and integrates with other AWS services to remediate issues. Let's take a closer look at how AWS Config works. As configuration changes occur in your AWS resources, the service records and normalizes the changes into a consistent format. AWS Config automatically evaluates the recorded changes against the rules that you've set. You can then access the change history and compliance results by using the console or API. You can configure Systems Manager or Amazon SNS to be invoked and remediate or alert you when changes happen. You can also deliver the change history and snapshot files of the monitored resources to an S3 bucket for analysis. Here are the key takeaways from this section of the module. AWS offers several services that support the discovery and recognition phase. Trusted Advisor inspects your AWS environment and then makes recommendations when opportunities exist to save money, improve system availability and performance, or help close security gaps. CloudWatch provides a reliable, scalable, and flexible monitoring solution. AWS Config is a continuous monitoring and assessment service that provides you with an inventory of your AWS resources and records changes to the configuration of those resources. Amazon Inspector is a vulnerability management service that continuously scans your AWS workloads for vulnerabilities. Shield offers protection against DDoS attacks. And GuardDuty is a continuous security monitoring service that can help to identify unexpected and potentially unauthorized or malicious activity in your AWS environment. Thanks for watching.